17th tomorrow. Okay. Hello there, friend. It is UFO Friday, the 17th of July. Yay! Love my UFO Friday, but actually that's not our challenge today. But I always think of Friday as a celebration day, and UFOs are always on my brain for that. But our challenge, I'm Pat Sloan, by the way. Our challenge is red and white quilts. So today, what I'd like to do is see some of your red and white quilts. Actually several of you asked, why didn't I get a red cast instead of a pink one? It's like, well, the red ones were kind of dull red. So I was like, I wanted something bright and cheerful if I was going to get one of these. So I got the pink because it was bright. Okay, so red and white quilts. Let's take a look at my crush up on the wall there. Greg's going to zoom in. This is probably my favorite, one of my favorites. The Solstice is my other one of red and white quilts that I've done. And when I did this one, this is a pattern. It's linked below underneath. You can get it from my digital store. I used a bunch of red nautical prints and then big red polka dots alternated with light red polka dots. And so this is a version of the pattern. The pattern is just the middle part, and then I took the half square triangles and added them for this particular one. Also did a stripe binding on it. Greg, if you can just scoot out to one side to see the binding. Yeah, there you go. So the stripe binding. But it was hard to find red and white nautical because, you know, basically nauticals are mostly blue and white. And the lobster print, if you scoot up one, Greg, see the lobster fabric? That was from years ago. And I believe most of the back has lobster fabric on it too. It just makes me happy, that quilt, which it lives in here with me all the time. So today your challenge is to get those red and white quilts and show them to me. It'll be like a huge fun celebration on the page. Also, if you have not gone over to my Facebook page, Quilt-along with Pat Sloan, to see all the scrap quilts people have been sharing from the challenge the other day, you definitely want to get over there. They're so fun. And the different versions of going on a picnic, tons of different versions. So if you're like thinking, well, I'm not really sure, you know, what color, you just sort of scroll the photo tab or just scroll by going to most recent. Tons of things. Now I do have, for going on a picnic, a share at the website page, so you can see blocks there too. So if you're not on Facebook, although you should be, just come on over for the quilting. It's all about the quilting. Okay, next quilt we're going to show you is, let's talk about the one on the wall. That's Bring Home the Christmas Tree. It is from the Vintage Christmas book, and we are going to do a sew along. There are kits. So I have the link below. It's a very limited amount. So if you want a kit using just like mine, the exact fabrics, you want to grab that up pretty quickly. We are going to start this sometime in mid to late August. So basically in about 5 weeks, I think. I have to sort of look at the calendar. I had to get my brain wrapped, around, because I want to finish up the Summer Dreams. And then this will, the Jelly Snowflake will be done. So this will be after that, but about 5 to 6 weeks max. And then we'll run it for about 5 weeks to do all the cars. How many cars are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 cars and a bunch of trees. It'll be, if we do it in 6 weeks, that'd be kind of, you have to be hopping, be working on it. Maybe we'll do 7 weeks, But you want to be working on all the time so that you can get it quilted for the holidays and have it up. So tell me about your picking a Christmas tree. If you have a family tradition of going out and finding the perfect tree, I'd love to hear about it. So that is coming up. Okay, I have a little show and tell here of some things that will help you with your rulers when you're working with rulers. So Greg's going to pull down here. We're going to take a look. So there are 2 products. Whoops, so I have a little bit of mobility with this hand. I don't have much strength, so it's very hard. I can sort of see, like I can pick something up, but I can't angle, like I can't bend my wrist, so it's kind of hard. But I'm going to show you 2 things. First up is this new magnifying lens. This is a pretty new product. My friend designed it, Carolina Moore. And it's what it is. It's just a little tiny magnifying glass, and it has on the back, it's a little bit tacky on this ring. So when you put it down, you just sort of press it, and then it stays there. And it will make your, whatever you're looking at more visible, because it is a small magnifier. I think this is great if you are, because we're standing up much higher from the ruler. So if you're really trying to get that 1/8 of an inch, or if you have a ruler with 1/16 of an inch, that is going to be critical to help you see it. So you know that your fabric will be lined up properly under there. So it comes in this little box, and I will link you up to that down below. And then the other thing I have, and you've probably seen these, I've shown them before. These are the stickers, the ruler stickers from my friend Gudrun. And they come in, let me see if I can flip this over. They come in several colors. So you can see there's green, pink, and blue. She may have some other colors now. I'll link you up to those. But you pull these rulers off. See that? You pull these little arrows off, for your ruler. And they're sticky. They're totally sticky. They can be repositioned, so you can pull them up and reuse them, but I use them to point to the lines, so I know what I'm going for. So like if I was looking for this intersection, I would want to put a little sticker there so that I hit right on that intersection. So those are two cool tools if you are looking for something to help you with your ruler work. Okay. Now I have one other little excitement. It was exciting for me. My Teach Me to Quilt book, my book here. I'll just sort of, let's see if I can lift it up a little bit. Greg can come down. Yeah, so this book here, Teach Me to Make My First Quilt. It has, I just got this nice little letter from my publisher, Martingale. It has gone into reprint again. It has been reprinted several times. So this book will take you through everything. Maybe I don't need the letter, but just pick a page or two. Yeah, so it is done with all photo step outs so that you can see the process with photos rather than diagrams. So the whole thing is done like this. You learn how to make all the basic techniques going through. This is wonderful. Not only, it's wonderful for people that are self-taught. Like if you have just sort of picked up here and there how to do things, but you're really not sure how to troubleshoot or why things work the way they do, I explain all of this in here. So I will link you below to my book. It's a great reference. It has a bunch of different nice patterns that are easy so that you can practice a technique and actually put it into a quilt. So there you go. Super, super fun. For me, it's super fun to have my book republished. Yay! So it's my Teach Me series. Okay, some Q&A. I love this question because it is, the first one here is, I'm not sure, so Cindy asked, how, for my things, do I rank them, like as beginner, intermediate, advanced, and, what would I rank my things, that kind of a question, Because you'll see, I never say, this is good for a beginner, this is good for intermediate. I never say that about any of my projects. And let me tell you why. Because what each person considers what they can and can't do differently. When we did the Splendid Sampler, which is 6-inch finished blocks with a lot of techniques and lots of tiny pieces, we had an enormous amount of beginner quilters. And they did those blocks and they were successful. Now, if somebody had said to them, oh, this is an advanced project, they would never have done it. Instead, they did it, they learned, they probably upped their skill level 100 times faster than if they had just done something somebody else considered and told them was beginner worthy. So I think everything that you do is you're cutting and you're sewing seams. That's it. The seams, there might be more seams, they might be tinier blocks, there might be some interesting techniques thrown in for a project, but for my work, I don't like to rank anything. I think that you can tackle it if you just take it one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed, don't try to do it all on the same day, that kind of a thing. They're all very doable. So you will see other people do rank their patterns, and you can make a decision then on how you feel about that. But this is how I approach it all. No ranking. I don't care for ranking. So another question that I'll hit today. This is from Debbie, and she wanted to know, what's the best way to store fabric? Can containers, sit out, you know, boxes, plastic, you know, whatever. What's the best way to store fabric? Well, you can see when Greg comes back, he'll show you my fabric on the shelves. Let me just tell you, back up right behind me. So there's some of my fabric. Right now, a majority of my fabric is kept in these bins. They're here, they're underneath the back side of the table. I have bins in my auxiliary storage area in the dining room. And so they are open. So what is the good point about that is I can see them. I can easily know what's there. I can find the red fabric, the yellow fabric, the orange fabric. The downside is they do get dusty because they're up on a shelf, and if I haven't gone up there and pulled out, you know, the black fabric for a couple of weeks, there's going to be some dust. You know, I do periodically take everything out of the bin and refold it and put it back. Now my room doesn't have a massive amount of lighting, so it has a big window, sliding glass door, but it's not getting, you know, direct lighting beating on these fabrics. Sunlight is what's going to fade your fabric. So keeping the sunlight off of it is a good thing. Storing it in plastic with lids and that, they're probably going to be fine for a while, but you need to be sure what your moisture is in your environment, because if you get too much moisture, they're going to start to get musty and moldy, and you know, that's not what you want for your fabric. It'll be damp. I mean, I've had students come to my workshops and I've touched their fabric and they have boxes of damp fabric because they kept it in the basement where there was high moisture, high humidity, and the fabric got very damp. I used to keep fabric in cardboard for many years, and you do have to watch the acidity of your cardboard. So that can be an issue if you intend to have something very expensive stored, you know, like, you know, you don't store that in, you know, cardboard. You need acid-free, you know, acid-free cardboard. So I store it on the shelves, I try to use it, and there you go. That's how I handle it. If you want to share how you store your fabric, if you're over at Facebook, share some pictures. Okay, this is Friday. Yay for Friday! And I have all the links below. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sewing with me, and I will see you online. Mwah.